So in the last video, you saw how I went to File, placed a graphic inside of InDesign, navigated to my book covers folder where that TIFF file was located, showed you how to resize the graphic versus the frame. Again, by clicking the donut, or what's called the content grabber, you can actually see the actual size of the image, but the frame acts almost like a clipping mask, and you're only seeing this much of it, which looks pretty good. Remember, I'm also now in what's called preview mode, so all of the bleeds and grids and guides are kind of hidden at the moment. Now what I'm going to do is actually bring in some text, which we've done. Pretty easy to do. Now I have this in a text edit file to save typing, so I'm just going to highlight Australia first. I'm going to do a Command C, which is basically edit copy, and I'm going to come over to InDesign, click on my type tool, and draw a text box. And I'm just going to go to Edit, Paste, and voila, there's the word Australia, which is actually going to be part of the title. So I'm going to pick a font that I like. So I'm going to go to Type and Font, and I've already picked a few of these, so I have them, notice they're at the top, but you could scroll through the list and find any font that you think would work. I'm going to use, if I can get to it, Capitals, which I think looks really nice. And I'm going to change the size to say 72 point. Of course, you know, the text is bigger than the box, so I'm just going to grab a corner and resize it. And that looks pretty good. Kind of put that right about there. I'm actually going to go back to screen mode and turn on to normal so I can see where my margin guides are and kind of place it right about there. Excuse me. Now, I'm going to actually widen this box out a little bit more because I want to increase the size of the word Australia, so I'm going to double click. When I double click with the type tool, I'm able to jump right into it and highlight the text. I'm going to come up to the character panel here, and I'm going to click the up arrow a couple times. And notice the font size is increasing because I want to fill that out as close as I can get. It's great, big, and bold title. At which point, I'm also going to highlight the type, and I'm going to go back to my eyedropper trick again, and I'm going to come down and pick a nice light color out of this tree or one of these rocks. Let's pick this color here. How about something right around in here? And see what I get. Well, I like that color based on just a pixel that I sampled from this image. At which point, let's save this color so I can reuse it again. So I'm going to highlight the word Australia. Notice the type tool right here is telling me and showing me the color. At which point I can click the little down arrow and you can see that it's sitting there. Now, I'm going to click, this is the panel options button. If I click this, it brings up options based on this panel, and what I want to select is a new color swatch. By doing so, it brings up a dialog box, and there's that yellow that I sampled, and I'm just going to leave it as the swatch name, okay? Or I could uncheck this and actually give it a name. But all I simply want to do is come down now and click Add, and it has been now and then done, and has been simply added to my swatches panel, which is sitting right here now. Isn't that nice? So what's good is that if I come back and copy the rest of the text, the continent at the bottom of the world, I just did an Apple C, come back, and click on my type tool, draw another text box, paste that in, which is Apple V. I'm going to go to font again. I'm going to keep with the capitals. I like that. I'm going to actually make this a little bit larger. And how do we do that? I'm going to come up here and, just pick one at random. The continent at the bottom of the world. That looks good. These two words, at the, are kind of miscellaneous, so I'm just going to go ahead and reduce that just to give a little art to it. And I'm going to bring up and put the graphic right under here. Highlight the text again, and I'm going to pick that same yellow that I had before. Looks a little bit different when it's on this blue. In the next lesson, we'll just wrap up and do a few things.